past. And the findings of the research were absolutely clear. And that is this: when you analyze yourself in detail and analyze your performance in detail, it has a tendency to make your performance get worse, not better. Not only that, but it builds up anxiety, and it stops you from being able to think about other things, because the thoughts tend to stay in your mind. So when you analyze yourself in detail and you scrutinize every little thing that you've done, it has a tendency to make ourselves worse. However, reflection on what we've done is absolutely key. Reflection on the past is key. But the real trick is to do it quickly, and to do it with a smile on our face, in a relaxed way. There's lots and lots of experiments that I personally have taken part in, which shows that this happens. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of a routine that you can go through when you want to use learnings from what's done in the past to improve. Now, so to do this, I'm just going to share my screen. There we go. Hopefully you can all see that. Okay, so this is a self-awareness technique, and my advice to you, or I would like to challenge you to see if you can use this technique on a regular basis. Whenever you've completed some work, or whenever you've done a presentation, or whenever a project is completed, or you can even use it on, as after meetings. What this is doing is trying to avoid the detailed scrutiny that you do with your face scrunched up in a very, very stressful way. So this is the process that is recommended. Firstly, ask yourself this question very quickly and very instinctively, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best you can do. How did you do? So let's just say you're just reflecting quickly on a series of meetings that happened yesterday. You say, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best you can, how did you do? And you just give yourself a score very, very quickly. You don't analyze it, very quickly and instinctively. So for me, for example, I did some workshops this morning. I did a workshop this morning. Quickly and instinctively, how did I do? I did 7. I would say 7 out of 10. What did I do that went really well? Well, what I did that went really well was that I felt as though I was able to trigger some change as a result of it. I felt as though, well, I know because people fed back, that, and I know that I was able to affect people emotionally, and it triggered some changes in their behavior. Also, we kept, did we keep the time? No, possibly we didn't actually. But I certainly had time. I didn't miss anything out. So those are the things that went really well. So what did I do that didn't go so well? Well, I waffled a little bit at the start. It took me a long time to get going. It was a sort of Monday morning. It took me a long time to get into the stride of things. So I waffled a little bit at the start, which meant that I didn't quite have so much time. And the last question is, what will you do differently next time to move your score up by 1 or 2 points? So in order for me to, and I've got another workshop that I'm doing, which is quite similar actually on Wednesday, which is a Rebuilding Heritage workshop. So what would I do to get myself from a 7 to an 8? Well, clearly what I would do was be much more succinct in the beginning. So what I simply do is write down much more succinct in the beginning, and keep that in front of me. Keep that here in front of me, ready, so that I'm ready for when I do this workshop on Wednesday. And at that stage, I click it out of my mind and don't think about it again. So at that stage, once I've answered that 4th question, once I've written something down, then I just put that piece of paper to one side and I move on with something else. I deliberately force myself to go on and do something else. And anytime that comes back into my head, I do what it takes to get it out of my head. So anytime what happened earlier today comes into my head, I do what it takes to put it out of my head. And what we're doing here is doing something which is very valuable in terms of our continual improvement, but at the same time, we're stopping ourselves becoming very anxious. Because the risk, of course, is, and I know that you will have all been here before, the risk is that you start to think, oh, crikey, I didn't do quite so well. Really, I didn't do quite so well. I could have done so much better. What are they thinking of me? Surely I should have done that better. And you start to ruminate on these thoughts. And not only does that not help you in terms of your future performance, but also you don't need that sort of anxiety and stress. We know from research that a large amount of anxiety and stress in the workplace comes from analysis, performance analysis of what you've done previously. What you've got to do is to reflect quickly, get it out of your mind. This should take no more than 5 minutes at the very most. You need to do it with a smile on your face. So I'm going to ask you to do that, to do this exercise now, relating to something that you've done today or something that you did last week, but preferably something that you've done today. So I just want you to go through this exercise. So firstly, just have a think about what it is you're going to reflect on. Something that you've done today, something that you may have done last week, something that is staying in your head a little bit. And here you've got your blank sheet of paper in front of you. I just want you to, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best you can do, give yourself a rating. How well did you do? Don't need to think about it. Quickly and instinctively give yourself a rating. Okay, now we move on. What did you do really well? What is it that you did that you're really pleased with? Because there's always something that you do really well. And the trouble with self-analysis is we tend to forget the things that we've done really well. So what did you do really well? Yeah. Just jot down a couple of points. Quickly and instinctively. Don't you think about this too much? Quickly and instinctively. We must always remember the things that we've done well. Okay, and now, what did you not do so well? What did you not do so well? Quickly and instinctively, without being annoyed with yourself, without you know, being cruel to yourself. Be kind to yourself, but identify what did you not quite do so well. Just a couple of things. This is not a problem. This is not something that anyone needs to worry about. This is just a factual reflection. What did you not do so well? We always know, don't we? We always know. And I know that people in your sector are so passionate about what you do, and that's fantastic. One of the challenges with being so passionate about what you do is that you're so self-critical. And one of the themes of this Wellbeing Gym today is just be kind to yourself, is to just ease up on yourself a little bit, go easy on yourself, because I know how much you want to be perfect at everything you do and how much you care about making a difference. And sometimes that's fantastic, and sometimes that adversely affects your well-being. And this is a good exercise which helps us to create the right balance. So what did you not do so well? And then finally, what will you do differently next time to move your score up by 1 or 2 points? Just a little, just by 1 or 2 points. What 1 or 2 things will you do differently next time to move your score up by 1 or 2 points? I want you to write that down on your sheet of paper. Write that down on your sheet of paper. Put that sheet of paper to one side where you can see it the next time you come to doing such a thing. And then we move on. And we click it out of our head immediately.